patriot looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the We P3 team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left your left, left, right, your left. You got it!
Truck it off.
Good evening. It's Andrea Eichmann here. I apologize. Peterson is he's stuck. He's stuck right now, and I didn't catch his message until just now. So I am actually locked out of my internet as well. This is really stupid, but I'm here Sunday evening. It is 22 February 2026, and we are here doing our We Got Your 6 at 6 that we do every single Sunday night with Frank, Mark, and myself. We Got Your 6 at 6 is meant to back up, support, introduce, and bring to you people that have missions to support those who serve our community and our country. So welcome to the show tonight. We are going to bring guests to you tonight. Monica Crawford is here to share what she does. I'm going to let her explain it. I will go into it, but I'm going to let her explain it. And then we've got Joshua Hudson here. He's going to share what he's up to right now, where he's serving, how he's serving, and he's got some music to share with us as well. Welcome to the show tonight. Just a couple sponsors I would like to share with you tonight. We have got The Godfather. We have got Derek Iozio with Catch 22 Peer Support, sponsoring the People's Patriot Project and Heart, Mind, and Soul. Thank you, Derek. Check them out, you guys. They've got meetings and gatherings and coffee time, and it's all good stuff. We've also got Operation Texas Strong. Operation Texas Strong takes used RVs and gets veterans off the streets if they're looking for a place to stay. These are some amazing, amazing people who do amazing things with RVs to help our homeless veterans. Right now, we are going to ask that you join us for this amazing national anthem with Dave Bray, USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take the time to stand if you are capable of standing. Out of honor and respect, please remove your covers and prepare yourself how you need to show your greatest gratitude for the amazing freedoms and liberties we have achieved under one of the most powerful symbols in the world. Please cast your attention as we respect our old glory.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket trembling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, to say, stand in the plane, the U.S. of A. Oh, say, just that star, spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land of the free, in the home of the
Patriot Pride.
Here we are, you guys. We're going to get everybody on stage here. Oh, are we not? There we go. There we go. Things are moving kind of slow for us tonight, but here we are. Oops, Peterson's going to do some moving around. There we go.
We didn't get all the fun stuff. Gosh dang it.
Yeah, I don't have buttons for the fun stuff. You guys, this is the weirdest. Peterson's texting me. I'm like, dude, we didn't go live yet. And he's like, I'm frozen. Can you kick me out? I can't kick him out because I don't have that power. He's the guy. And then in the middle of it, I can't open up any of my documents because I'm kicked out of my Google account. And I'm like, what is going on? This is
All right,
so
here's some of the
stupid
fun stuff. You should have saw this. It is time for We Got Your 6 at 6.
Just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your...
Now that's the fun stuff. We're ready to roll, ready to go. We are as hot as the USA Olympic hockey teams, both men and women. Holy cow. Hey, come knock my chicklets out and I'm going to come score and beat you. Get out of here. What the heck's going on there, folks? Did you guys get up and watch the game?
Yes.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
No.
I didn't get to see
That
it.
was
Hudson
probably
was
the
snoozing
single
during that
best
time.
performance by a goalie I have seen or experienced in my life.
It's just it's fun. It's fun. I gotta share a little bit of the dynamics that we got rolling here. Andrea is from a far off distance land called Iowa. It's like no one even goes there. It is what it is. Hudson is in Japan right now as he's coming. It's hot and early in the morning. He has had his coffee. He's ready to roll. What is it? 9 a.m. now, right?
Yeah, it's 9:14.
9:14. Monica, she told me about 15 minutes ago, but my brain is scattered now. I got PTSD because my show didn't start the way I wanted it to.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it was down that area, Oklahoma.
I was not that far. I grew up in Missouri.
Well,
You're not too
you
far.
don't have to claim Iowa. No one does.
Hey, it's God's country. Oh my gosh.
And Frank is from West Virginia. Currently, me and Andrea are sitting in. Sometimes, most of the time, we say the great state of Minnesota, but that's another story at another time, folks. We're a working group. We come here every Sunday at 1800 Central Standard Time to learn, to grow, and to become better. But there's also a job. There's a job all of us have to get involved in. And if you don't get involved with it, I think you're part of the problem. But we'll get there. We'll have it. But we needed to hear a little note from one of our spokespersons. We're going to take and listen to what Bastian has to say.
At the People's Patriot Project, our mission is more than just words. It's a call to action. Each of us bears the vital responsibility to check your six. We begin this important journey with a moment of self-assessment. Ask yourself, are you truly mission ready? If the answer is no, don't wait in silence. Reach out. Use your skills. Lean into your resources and connect with your network. Whether you turn to a trusted friend, a supportive organization, or dial 988, remember, you must be battle ready to stand strong for the mission ahead. Once you feel equipped, take that next step. Reach out to 6 people in your circle. Check in on them. No agenda, no judgment, just genuine connection. This is how we build strength, shield one another, and serve our communities with pride. Together, we reaffirm our commitment. We got this. Patriot Pride.
We have, since 9/11, lost 6,000 veterans a year to suicide. That's why Check Your Six is so important. There is a hard, and maybe Monica's done some of this research, it's hard to calculate the number of attempts and suicides in the first responder world because they kind of get looped into the general public. We know that's an issue in all society. We are focusing on, we have roughly 30 million first responders in our country answering 600 million calls a year. They're seeing the trauma, they're involved in the trauma, and they're dealing with it how they have to, when they can, how they can, and when they can. And unfortunately, it's the wrong direction. Check your six. The conversations we've heard in the past are, I wish I'd have reached out one more time. You have a chance to do that now. Why didn't I say I love you one more time? You have the chance to do that right now. Why didn't they reach out to me? Well, why didn't you reach out to them? That's why we do this, folks. Check your six. Go and do it right now. It takes 30 seconds to reach out to 6 people in your world. We have Monica Crawford here. Tell us about who you are, what your mission is, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. This is a cool thing. So my name's Monica Crawford. Like I said before, I am currently in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Originally grew up in the Kansas City, Missouri area. Former first responder. I was in law enforcement for 8 years. In the middle of that 8 years, I resigned from what was a toxic environment inside of the police department I was with. I realized really quickly it was affecting my mental and physical health, and a change needed to happen. In the middle of that, I found a Facebook ad for a business coach and realized that with my history, I was a gymnast for 20 years of my life. 4 years of that was in the NCAA as a Division I gymnast. And with my experience in the nutrition and fitness and coaching space, that I had more education experience on that side of the fence, even than where I was at in law enforcement at the time. And so I started a online coaching business called 5-0 Fierce and Fit. 5-0, obviously, with the ode to law enforcement. And it began as a nutrition and fitness coaching company for female first responders. I have since expanded that into more of the health and performance coaching role for women in leadership and female entrepreneurs. Still keeping female first responders, of course, under that umbrella, but just expanding it slightly. It's nutrition and fitness and leadership coaching programs. They're 6 months usually, and they're one-on-one with me as your coach. And I walk you through point A to point B based on where you start, help to coach to get you to where you want to get to. In that time, I've also authored a book myself. It's called Stand Tall and Take No Shit: How Surviving the Badge Taught Me to Thrive in Business, Life, and Leadership. And I am also a public speaker and keynote speaker. I've traveled across the country to several female first responder conferences to speak and also lead courses in education.
Another service member that does not know when to stop and or quit. And every iron is in the fire. Every iron is red hot glowing, and she's just going to get it done, folks. What are you doing? What are you doing? If you're sitting there, you're part of the problem. Monica's getting done. I appreciate all the things, and I don't know that I can keep up with all the things. we need to figure out how to get your book in our library. I don't know if you can take it to Andrea's library at the middle school, but it's got the little star in there. That we can, yeah, that works. That works. The she tea. That's what it is. The she tea. So I told you there was the format, but then every once in a while I throw some questions in there.
Go for it.
What do you see being the biggest plight in the world of our first responders right now? What's holding us back?
Oh gosh, there could be many answers to this.
Yeah.
I'll zoom way out. Well, there's two that come to mind. You asked me about statistics and suicide. I didn't do research in that, but for my book, I did do research on health for first responders. And I found that in 2022, I combed through Officer Down Memorial page and figured out how many deaths were due to health conditions, chronic health, things that were more like heart attacks, strokes, people going to the range and ending up going to the hospital and not coming back that day, directing traffic, things like that. It was over 40% in 2022 that were health-related deaths. And that's shocking because it's not running from bullets, cars, knives, vehicles, like all of those things that you would think. It is the small death by 1,000 cuts, if you will, that takes effect on our health as first responders. Some of that self-induced, some of that environmentally induced. It's a big combination of it all. Unfortunately for me, I worked my way into some health issues, not non-life threatening, but it was an environmental thing more so than the job itself, and chronic stress and toxic work environment. So I've seen that and lived that, and also researched in that. So health is a main thing. And then also probably more on the environmental side of things as well, but this falls along in the suicide conversation as well. I met my husband on the job. He's still in law enforcement, sworn with a different agency now. But we need to treat people like people inside of our profession, right? We oftentimes treat the people on the street better than we treat our coworkers. And I will say that till this day, that I love the job for what it was. And I did, after I left that agency, I went to a more positive department. I want to put that out there so that obviously people know there are positive work environments. They might just be a little bit harder to find. I did move on to a different agency for a couple of years part-time and before I resigned completely. But it was, the people who I worked with were more challenging than the people I dealt with on the street. And some people who have read my book have said that and agreed with that too. And I said, well, with the people on the street, you know what you're going to get. You almost know what you're dealing with, or the type of people you're dealing with when you it's like on the street, it's like what you see, it's what you get. When it's inside the four walls of your department, it's, oh, we're in a chess match. And how long is this chess match going to last? And when's my next move, and where's their next move going to be?
I could get so much poo on my shoe in this conversation, and that's it is. You're not wrong, and I'm going to disagree with you a little bit when you say when you're working with the public, you know what you're going to get. I'm just going to say I'm not surprised any longer. You never know what you're going to get, but you never know what you're walking into. You don't know their mental health. You don't know their stuff. But you want your ship tidy and clean and all the things in the right places and everyone function on a 100% level all the time. I get that. I understand that. You see it in the military as well. Everyone's got to be on the A game. And you know what? The other side is we are our own worst critics in these spaces, and we don't take care of ourselves. And I appreciate your platform because that is the piece. Firefighters don't take care of themselves. You don't get a regular sleep schedule. You don't get a regular diet schedule. Police officers don't get a regular diet. It's the joke. You get to go scarf down some donuts and coffee, and that's what you're regulating yourself on. And the institutions you're working for aren't necessarily promoting that either. They're like, be here, do your job, get it done. That's what we have to do today. So much we can tear off here. And again, I just appreciate, I love the name of your book because that's the reality. And we've been too soft for too freaking long. Me and Andrea are school teachers, so we also work for an organization that it's an ebb and flow situation right now, but we refrain from using our our big boy and girl words. So because we don't want to be called out for some stuff. Yeah. When we're like Andy Frizilla and we get to put $8 million in our pocket, then we can say whatever we want to at that point. We'll get to that, right? Joe Rogan. Well, when we're up there at that level, we can say whatever we want. We got your 6 and 6 right now. But thanks for being on here, Monica. Don't go anywhere. We're going to come back to you.
All right.
Mr. Hudson.
Mark.
Over the seas. Tell us who you are, your service, and what you're getting done, brother.
Okay. Currently in Okinawa, Japan. I am a career counselor, retention attrition guy for my unit with the 1st Special Forces Group out here on Tori. Been in the Army for 17 years, was in the infantry for 4. I was in the Army band for 6, and then I've been the counselor the rest of the time. And so when a mission, you nailed it, Mark, whenever you said, what are we doing? That's literally on all my plaques in my office. I think there's 2 questions that I run through my command teams and everybody that comes in my office, because I counsel a lot of people. I don't necessarily care about retention at all, because people understand they're going to stay in or get out. The biggest thing that I've taken that role as is being like a life coach, sort of like a person to put in some perspectives or walking people through situations. And hardly ever do we talk about retention. And so I've held on to that responsibility in my unit. And just, especially with operators being with these 18 series, the one thing I love about it is they don't mix words. You say what you need to say and you be done with it. And I've really grown a liking to that. But essentially it comes down to 2 things: is what are we doing and are we taking care of people? And if we're not doing those 2 things, then we don't deserve to be here. And it kind of it flows with everything around leadership. But my mission is taking care of people. All the music I do, everything that I'm working with clients, none of it's charged. I don't need the money. I've already got a helping with behavioral health and my retirement coming up at 20. It's not about money. It's about being able to allow someone to fully grip their potential and their dreams of making music. A lot of people just sit there and get stuck in a rut, and I just kind of come around and help them take lift off on it all,
And this is kind of because the people you work with, like on the first responder world, get to see everything. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're put into situations where, knock on wood, we don't know if we're coming back. We don't know if this is going to happen. Our police officers are doing the same thing daily right now, and it breaks my heart knowing that. But I also know that we got amazing men and women who have signed up for that mission, know that's what there is their mission. Do you think, and I'm not trying to set you up with this conversation here, do you think our military is doing a good enough job to get our men and women from the service area into civilian area with the tools that they need?
They want to say they are, but
Sure.
They're not. Yeah, they're not.
And that's a tough piece. We talk about that on the show all the time. And that the reality is the people in that area really are not trained to do that piece. And that's a piece that I don't think when we became the Minutemen back in the 1700s, no one realized that, okay, at some point we got to go home. At some point we have to redo this stuff. At some point, when you were leaving the theater of Vietnam, which would take you 3 or 4 weeks to get back home, now we got men and women that are in theater one day and home the next day, and just thrown right back in the mix. And so there does need to be more tools. There does need more trainings. And I think we're heading in the right direction. I don't think there's a whole lot of cuddly feely moments in your space over there, is there?
No, it's pretty cut and dry.
Get it done, dude. Got it.
Hey, we need to talk about Little Creek Naval Amphibious Base for a quick second.
All right. Say more.
That's where the School of Music is.
Oh.
Yeah, Virginia Beach. Yeah.
I was there in 78.
Yeah, I was a alumni of 2012, and it was a beautiful area. I enjoyed it. However, I did take a trip around the base. It's very small, obviously, and I traveled right into the SEAL team's compound and immediately realized my mistake. Although I hung out with the SEALs because they always hung out at that bowling alley down there.
Yeah. And we
so
always used to have fun watching the Marines do the beach landings.
Yeah, no, I hung out
They
with
used
the
to
SEALs.
chase us out every time we went up there.
Yeah, and so yeah, I enjoyed my time at Virginia Beach. It was like 10 weeks long.
Crazy.
Heck, it was 23 weeks for me.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And they had no drill sergeants there.
I wanted to be a drill sergeant out there.
Machines on every floor.
Mr.
I was a
Hudson,
wild-haired.
what's the first song you want to roll with tonight?
Okay. We'll save Within the Confines for last because that's the newest one, I guess. So understand that Go Time and the introduction, they're both wild ideas. I have 3 kids, three boys. And so these 2 songs in general were just me throwing on the red light and recording ideas really quick and then just trying to get the idea. And then Malachi somehow or another put lyrics to it. And so it's not a full production. It's just throwing ideas together of my own ideas. And then like within the confines, I just, Malachi just sent me lyrics this morning that I kind of mixed in and we're trying to just in the preliminary phase of it all, but it sounded pretty good.
So we're going with Go Time?
Sure, let's do it. Go Time.
I want to put this out there because like we bring musicians on all the time and have these conversations and we turn it on and you get to hear this earthy country twang. Folks, if that's what you're looking for, you wrong show tonight.
No, these songs are not it.
What's the title of Monica's book again? This is what this is all about right here. This is what it's going to go. We're going to go hard and we're going to go good. This is Mr. Josh Hudson with Go Time.
You
That is Josh Hudson with
Very cool.
Awesome.
Showtime.
So just the Rory Ellis, he's my brother from my second deployment. He's one of the best guitar players. I pull people in with these projects, and I pulled him in for that solo at the bridge part. I just want to give him that credit because he's a wonderful guitarist.
That's outstanding. And you saw Malachi is in here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is William Sheridan one of our people? William, good to have you here, brother. And we got he's actually Josh. Josh, brother.
So that is Micah. He's a first responder out of Hopkinsville, Kentucky.
Amen.
He's my brother. He just probably meant to say brother, but
I love it. I love it. Thanks for being here, Josh. Well, Josh. Everyone's a Josh here today.
Joel.
Phoenix.
Lucy.
Cool.
Good to see you, brother.
I'll be out there
Awesome.
on Thursday.
That music is a breath of fresh air, only in the fact that, and again, I have no problem with country. I have no problem with R&B, but this is a niche that our brothers in arms and first responders ask for all the time. And there's very few people that take on the task. Monica, what's your favorite kind of music? Sorry to throw you under the bus on this one.
I would lean towards country. I can deal with some rock. I can't do the super heavy screamo stuff. That's kind of where I tune out. But I can. Yeah. If you're familiar with Brantley Gilbert, he's like a good blend of like country and rock. That's kind of like what I lean towards. Like the
Red Dirt Dirty. Yeah. That's he gets it done. He gets it done. Josh, love the content. It does fit. It is a niche that needs to be had. What's the biggest thing that drove you to this area?
Of music?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think whenever we're talking about outlets, primarily I just get down on my guitar and start throwing around random ideas. And primarily it always comes out to just chugging rhythms and like just beating the crap out of it. I think that's where the little niche comes from. It's just I found an outlet and was able to at least get some drum patterns going the way I needed it to, and essentially brought it to life. But again, I can't. I love playing 4-bar chord songs in country and some easier stuff. But like when I'm in the moment of just needing a release, when like people go to the gym, right? Yeah. I throw on some heavy gain distortion and just get it out of my system. My wife can always tell how I'm doing by the way I'm playing guitar. If I'm beating the crap out of it, it's been a rough couple of days. Obviously with 3 boys, all 8, 6, and 4, it's a tornado in my house at all times. So
probably need a little of this. Yeah, for sure.
And so I don't want to go off topic here, but there was when I was at Fort Campbell on my second tour there, I got together with, his name is John Kesey. And we started a group called Sounds of Acoustic Recovery, SOAR. And what we did is we would bring people that were going through the trauma unit, and they've been through whatever TBIs and everything like that. And we would take them every other week and we would teach them the outlet. We would teach them the bar chords, and we'd teach them the cage system. And then so that was heavily involved with the Nashville Music Writing Committee. So again, it just comes to taking what I'm doing and pulling people in to create that outlet for people. Because, a lot of people just don't understand how to get to that point of having an outlet or just being able to get stuff out of their system, And so
that's a little bit why the People's Patriot Project functions the way it does. We were told to specialize. We were chose to select a mission and stick with it. And I'm like, you know what? If we specialize and we do military sexual trauma, PTSD, alcoholism, drug addiction, if we do any one of those specifically, then we're losing so many other opportunities. And that has been the great, amazing project of the WP3 Radio is that we've got opera on there. We've got screamers on there. We've got country. We got pop. We got R&B. Malachi and you. And it's, you never know, like doctors, you never know what medication is really going to fix the fix. At the same time, there are people out there, what was it, a Hurt Locker. I mean, I get it's a movie, but when he would sit down and put his music in, he needed to clear his head. And to clear his head, he had to have chaos and had to get it out of there. And I'm how many, do you know of any of the people around you that do they have your music up on their playlists?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm starting to gain popularity. I've pulled in a couple people within the unit. Paul Hawk, he's a medic. He's an 18 Delta. And he came with, he's like, yeah, I've noodled around and I've had these ideas. And I said, well, send me it, dude. And we just finished up his first song, which is completely different from Go Time. It's a mixture of Pink Floyd, some Smashing Pumpkins, and it's kind of like an old dementia, like, I guess, picture. If you was to put a picture to the portrait here, it starts out with backfeed and it goes into like this huge buildup and it kind of fades back out into just fuzz. And so, I mean, it's a first for me. I normally just do thrash and heavy stuff, but it was definitely a first. But like I said, the guys, they're starting to trust me more and they're starting to understand that I am just trying to be an outlet for people to teach them how to have a release.
Well, that first song reminded me a little of Metallica, the Master of Puppets.
Oh yeah.
Frank has got a good friend, Phil Beaver, which is really it's a great name. It's a great name. We made fun, but it is what it is. Who has Fire Jets, and it is so out of kind of, it's just this new, it's Meatloaf, and kind of how Meatloaf played with his theatrics, and it's just like, it is breathtaking in the fact that, oh my gosh, someone is feeling a niche because someone wants to listen to this. Someone, and I know there are men and women that want to hear that content, and you're the right guy doing and delivering it. And if you're partnered up with Malachi, that's a good partnership to have there too.
Yeah, me and Malachi started out 13 years ago in the parking lot of Fort Stewart's band hall. And that's whenever we essentially wrote Grind and Freedom. I was just showing him ideas in my car, and it's poor recordings, but it evolved, and we've just kind of, like, I'm loyal to the end. I think that's something you pick up in the infantry. You're loyal to those around you that are willing to give back, you know. And it's just been me and him this whole time. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be doing music right now. I'd probably just be counseling and doing what I need to do. But now I've got the whole studio and clients, and it's starting to branch out, but it all comes from that investment, you know.
Well, we're going to be putting your tunes up on WP3 Radio. We didn't quite have it ready to go today, but that's a piece that we offer our service members and our veterans. Dr. Arnell, good to see you. Music is therapy from our guy. You are 100% accurate, brother. 100% accurate. Miss Monica, what are you working on now?
Working on building the business. It's more so of what my focus is right now. I actually have a workshop that's coming up on March 2nd. It's going to be at 6 p.m. Central Time, and I can share that information on how to sign up for that. But it's going to be a very foundational way to learn of what nutrition you need and how to fuel your body well for your job and activity demands. It's called You're Not Undisciplined, You're Overloaded, because a lot of people feel like health can be a second job. Jokingly, it's, of course, with all of the information in the world right now, it's, well, do I focus on protein? Do I need a supplement? Should I eat an apple? Are grapes bad? I shouldn't eat donuts. Like, all of this gigantic wealth of misinformation in the world. So I like to tell women specifically, since nothing against the guys, I just focus on the women. I can always help the men too. It just depends on your goals. But a lot of women will tell me I'm just lazy, and I'm like, no. If I'm talking to you, laziness is not the problem. It's more of misguided and misstructured. And so I try to make it down and make it very simplistic on what to focus on and when, what makes sense now, and what are some other things that you're like, no, like that's maybe later on down the road, type of thing. Like supplements is a good example of that. People automatically think, well, I need all these supplements, and no, supplement means it's a supplement. It's like the last 5% of your nutrition. So it's reframing a lot of those things.
That is the message that needs to be heard. And here's the plight that Mr. Peterson is battling in the world of life right now. The plight is we have access to so much information at our fingertips, and you catch a nuance. Oh, look at this. This is going to make me better. And because someone said it, and their post is all shiny, clean, and everything, then this must be real. I need to do this. And you subscribe, you get involved, they get your $18 a month, and it is absolutely not backed by any research, not backed by everyone's trying to get in your pockets, folks. That's the reality. They want your money, they want your stuff, and I love hearing the realness of, and what makes what Monica say better than what everyone else. I don't know. But here's the problem that we have. The problem that we have is we've all become parrots. Parrots sitting on your shoulder like a pirate. And I call people out for this constantly. Now we're going to ask you to like and share all the stuff in our podcast. But that's what you're doing with all your other social media stuff. You're liking, you're sharing it, you're putting it out there, you buy into it. And that is where the problem has. You don't research it. We work for another organization that we are following some people, and they come to the table with, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. This. And I go, show me. Show me what you're saying is truly and really happening. I want to see it with my eyes. Because then I watch another person say through their social media, this is what I've seen. I have witnessed this. I go, you did not witness that, because I know you're up there drinking hot toddies next to the lake right now, and I know you're not down in the combat zone where things are really happening. So don't tell me you witnessed it and you saw it when you didn't. Show me that you have this viable information. And I'm towing the line on some stuff. But we are living in a world where everyone has got their camera up doing this all the time in place. Tell me that it's not there. And if you're telling me it's not there, then you're lying to me. And I don't want to be any part of it. So, Monica, we got to get your book. We got to get you promoted. There's a unique thing in your program that says you're overloaded. Do you ever practice what you preach? Because I guarantee you, you're overloaded. Who's taking care of you?
Yeah. Truthfully, and getting into some of my story, if you will, and this is all inside of the book, so I'll keep it brief here. If you want to read the full story, obviously you can snag the book. A lot of what happened when I was in that police department was chronic stress, and actually in law enforcement we call that hypervigilance, right? It's always being on eggshells, always waiting for the other shoe to drop. For myself and even my husband, it was, if I speak up, is it the wrong thing? Am I going to get in trouble for the next complaint? Essentially, the reason I exited that place was because I have never had any disciplinary issues in my entire life, and then found myself in 3 disciplinary problems in the span of 6 weeks, I think it was. Yeah. So the target had been put on my back and the writing was on the wall. And I was like, I'm not going to fight to stay here if you guys don't want me here. And kind of just to exemplify like what that was, as soon as they concluded the internal affairs investigation, I put in my 2 weeks notice and then was told it was a knee-jerk reaction. So shame on you for leaving after having been through all of this stuff.
That's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
That's called gaslighting. It is emotional abuse in there. People don't, that's like nails on a chalkboard to law enforcement. They're like, what? This happens. So a lot of me being overloaded, if you will, is me being in my own healing process that's lasted. I'm going into year 4 of this, where basically when I got out, it kind of progressed as I left that environment, because it's not like your body doesn't just like shut it off after you leave. Right. One day I woke up, I had hormone dysregulation, thyroid problems, gut health issues. Like everything on a lab came back like slightly high, slightly low, like everything was just out of whack. Started gaining weight that was unexplainable, without changing my lifestyle at all. Like I used to work out 5 days a week, like eat healthy, like all of the things, protect my sleep, my mental health. And that chronic stress just slowly eroded my health over time. And it's been a 4-year battle to slowly get that back. And also regulating my nervous system. Like you want to get into like the mental health side of things. It's like chronic stress, fight or flight. We're up here and then it turns off. And then our body's like, wait, we're still up here. Like, are we safe yet? Can we chill out? Like there's not a bear coming after us anymore. So when you say overloaded, like, yes, a little bit, I'm still working through that healing process myself, which is, it's been, it culminated in me getting a diagnosis for SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. I've learned a lot through the process because everything basically goes back to your gut health that I found. Prediabetes, PCOS, insulin resistance. I've coached many women through some of these things. I'm going, no, like it's not this diagnosis they're telling you. It literally goes back to your stress and your gut health. I may be wrong in some cases, but everything that I've seen, it ends up being similar to being, we need to protect your sleep, your self-care, and your nutrition. And that slowly your body's going to heal itself and work its way back this way. So yes, I am navigating things too, as well. Coaching women at the same time. But I do all the things that I teach. I am protecting my sleep, my self-care and mental health. It just looks a little bit different right now. It's not my normal working out 4 or 5 days a week. It's, I got to protect myself so that my nervous system doesn't freak out and give me a migraine later in the week, because then it's like the very up and down of regulating my output at the moment.
By no means was I trying to put you in check, but this is what we run into all the time. It's all in the book.
It's in the book, so it's out there.
I'm a regular, man. I know, and I don't know that I do a good job of communicating it, but when I'm out of gas, I just keep pushing the pedal, and it's just like I'm hoping I'm on a hill going down, so that hopefully there's something that catches me up. But there's nothing ever really, and I'm guilty. I know it. It's I rely on my team, Miss Eichmann and Frank and the other parts of the WP3 team. And what's really tough is when we built the People's Patriot Project, I never realized how many like internal workings with people that still have stuff. It's like, no, you're supposed to be better. You're supposed to be good. You're supposed to stop it. And we're still functioning or working through those processes with these people as well. And zero complaints, zero worries. But then what happens is the mission of WP3 is so big and is so aggressive that we're finding burnout within our own organization because they still haven't fixed what was broken to begin with. And it's like, okay. Because, I mean, and again, I'm not blaming. That's like that part with Bastian, and there's like, I'm asking, there's zero judgment. There's zero, like, I'm not going to hold you to the fire here, but we're trying to get a mission done. And the reality is everyone needs a little something. Yeah. Everyone needs a little something. And we're working through those pieces. And so I would struggle to get my hands on your book because I don't know if I got time to read it. That's the other part. And I don't do a good job with that. But Miss Eichmann, she does a really good job with that. So we'll have to.
That's a part of my mission, and a lot of what I've been leaning into as far as my marketing and everything is what do we term as normal? It's like, well, I started getting brain fog, or well, for me, my signs, I didn't even know what I was dealing with when the early warning signs were hitting me, because it was my gut health. I was bloated all the time. I carried Tums everywhere I went, and it was migraines. I didn't go anywhere. Like, you still dig through my bags, my purses, my backpacks. There are little tiny Ziploc baggies of Tums and Excedrin.
It
in
smells
everything.
minty fresh, doesn't it?
In everything.
Yep.
And so it's like, that's a red flag. At the time, you're like, oh, well, this is inconvenient. But like, that was the red flag. Like, that was the early warning signs. And so we get so used to being like, no, it's fine. It's not a big deal. We just keep pushing through until our body's like, nope, we're done. We're going to shut this down. We're going to shut down hard. And it's not going to be your choice anymore to keep pushing through this.
I've watched people. Go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
I was just going to say, I mean, my mantra is we rise by lifting others, but first we must lift ourselves, because if we're trying to impact other people, we can't be running on empty ourselves. So
do you approve of Bastian's message? Take care of yourself first, right? You got to make sure you're battle ready first. And then if you're not battle ready, let's get you there. And then let's take care of others. That's what we need to do. I'm an anti-consumable guy. I've watched people like pound handfuls of Advil every morning. I've watched people, the Tums stuff. So I take nothing. And I've always done that. I'm like, I'm just going to grit through it no matter what it is. And even like when I did the neck surgery, they wouldn't even give me like the pain pills I probably should have or needed. And I'm like, fine, done. I just don't even need it. We're just get in there, doc. Don't even put me out. And I didn't do that. That's a lie. Awesome. I hope. I'm trying to, in my head, create a conversation that we will continue in the future that maintains a check your six posture so that you're always taken care of as well. Because I feel that you're this person that is a go person, which is good. Go is good, folks. Go is good. But you also have to make sure your supports are in place as well. If the support is not there, and that's the piece that we're finding off in our first responder world and our military world, the supports have never ever really been there. We've come onto a new nuance, so I would say probably the last 20 years. And again, everyone's afraid of sharing their story because you don't want to look weak, you don't want to look soft. You know what? If your effing tooth hurts, your effing tooth hurts. That's the reality. No one has a problem saying my tooth hurts, right? But you will have a problem saying, oh, I'm not right-minded right now, folks. Because people lose their jobs when that happens. The people that worked through it and toughened it up and put the birds on their collar and the stars on the collar, they toughened it through that piece. They were the lucky ones. They got there. And when you say, you know what, things aren't quite here right, you lose your job. You lose integrity. You lose, you don't lose it, but people are saying you're losing your composure. And we got to get away from that. Hudson, what are you working on now, brother? And you can join or add any conversation.
I didn't want to butt in. This is all great stuff. So I was going to say, there's a saying that I started saying a long time ago, but it comes down to the chaplains and the chaplain assistants and people. And it's who helps to help. And so a lot of times, especially if you are a listener or you're a good friend or the shoulder to lean on, and Lord knows my whole day consists of just counseling people and life coaching. And so it always comes down to who helps me. Am I making the choice? And yeah, I make the choice. I go and I spill my guts to my chaplain. I spill my guts to whoever has an ear to hear. Because ultimately, if we don't, and we just baggage all that up and we just keep bagging it up. I remember when I worked in the prison for a year before joining the military, they had the balloon effect. That's what we went through a class. And it says, if you never empty your balloon, you're just going to explode on somebody randomly at the wrong time. And so again, it comes down to, for me personally, is every day I'm sharpening my iron. I'm listening to things, and not only listening to it, but whenever I'm talking to somebody or I'm counseling somebody, I say, well, what are you putting into play? Because you know the knowledge, you hear the knowledge, and a lot of times it goes through the ears, right? And we just hear things and we just kind of let it go through one ear and out the other. But we never sit there and put the brakes on and anchor down. We never anchor down to just sit there and I'm saying, no, this has got to stop right now because I got to fix myself. I got to sit there and decompress. And so a lot of times what I've seen within myself, if I don't, that's right, Micah. If we don't empty our bucket, if we don't, we'll just end up exploding on the people around us and never really get to the sense of healing.
This is kind of, I'm going to have a little confessional here. This is something that Miss Eichmann and me experience regularly. She's always yelling at me behind the scenes, and that's not true. That's not true. And I'm not making light of it. It's me, and it's aggressive and it's tough. And I'm like, I turn around, I'm like, why am I doing this? It is not, you are not the problem. And it's ugly and it's not right. And I'm pretty sure she's probably at the point of not believing me when I say I'm sorry, because I've done it so often. But I will open air say again, Andrea, thank you for all you do in supporting the mission here. And so you're right. And so I do want to say, put a little ding, ding, ding asterisk, who helps the help should probably be the title of this episode, just to put a little bing on there. So I love it. What's our next song, brother?
Okay. The introduction.
Okay.
And again, the introduction, a couple weeks ago here in Okie, I had an hour to myself, and my wife took the kids to a birthday party down the street here on Kadena. And I just, again, threw on some random beats and started beating the crap out of the guitar as fast as I could. And it's essentially just an introduction. It doesn't change much. It's letting you know who I am, kind of thing. And of course, Malachi, I sent it to him and I was like, here's my next thing. I just threw this together in an hour. What do you think? And he's like, let me put some lyrics to it. And somehow or another, he always delivers and finds ways of putting poetry to this music. And so when you listen to it, understand that he did a beautiful job in the poetry part of saying, it's time to show you who I am. And, and this is just it. It's just an intro. And so it's really loud, Monica. So I'm sorry again. But it's just straight to the point. It's just straight to the point, high energy, just a lot of raw power. And again, it comes through of all the stuff that we build up in life. I'm able to find ways of just getting it expressed. It doesn't have to be a magnificent piece of music. It doesn't have to be something that takes 6 months to do. It's just in that moment, I let you see me, kind of thing. And Malachi came through with the lyrics.
This is Josh Hudson, the introduction.
See
That is Josh Hudson, the introduction. I love, you guys probably don't know this, we can still see your guys' faces during the Josh is geeing during the entire time when he's listening to this music, and he is just in the space, and I absolutely love it. I love it. And Monica, just so you know, we have Weepy Through Radio that has all the country musicians you'd ever want to listen to if you were interested in doing that. That's but I this is refreshing for me. I love this.
Well, one, I want to say thanks for having me on here. I didn't really expect to get anything out of this, but I appreciate everything you're doing and what you stand for. And if anything, whoever made the comment as he's banging his head to the beat, amen, brother. Hey, listen, if you wanna send me stuff, I will gladly bring whatever people have to the table and just create it, because that's what we're here for, you know.
Josh, I'm going to let you know, me and Andrew are having a conversation behind the scenes as well. And when you came on, you were serious face. This is what are we getting done? You were focused. And the weight has been lifted. And I appreciate that you appreciate what's happening in this space, because it has changed from the beginning during our intros. And so I know coming into this thing, who knows what's going on. I am so excited about Final Thoughts because I want to know what the growth was during this time of conversation tonight. Frank, let us know what's in the news real quick, brother.
Okay, I don't know how I'll follow that. That was one hell of a song. I mean, song. Beep. Hold on. Here we go. I picked a couple news stories that I have a little bit of a personal experience with. So the first story is about protests in Kosovo. And there were thousands of people who gathered in Pristina to protest the war trials crimes. And this was the 18th anniversary of the independence, or the Declaration of Independence for Kosovo. I happened to be in Kosovo as a diplomatic observer for the ceasefire. And that was before the Air Force went in and did their bombing runs and everything. And then the Army went in afterwards. But if there's any war crimes, I can tell you firsthand, they're looking at the wrong side, because there were things happening to the people of Kosovo that would make a normal civilian person in our country just break down and cry. Mm-hmm. Not the military. I mean, we've seen a lot of things and a lot of bad things, but it wasn't uncommon for police and military on the other side to go down the road and just shoot someone. I've seen it. I've done reports back to the ambassadors on stuff like that, and for them to still be trying the leaders of the Kosovo Liberation Army on war crimes, in my mind, is just absurd. But they're doing it. Who knows what will happen? I will definitely keep an eye on this and provide updates as they come along. But I wish them all the best. I still have people I communicate with in Kosovo that I worked with while I was there. The next story, again, we reported last week about Sudan, and I think I said something about it's just going to get worse. Well, this next story, at least 6,000 were killed over 3 days of attacks on Sudan's El Fasher and that was reported by the UN. So this is not something that is just hearsay or on the internet. These were confirmed kills, and it's not going to get any better in Sudan unless there's intervention. Sometimes we have to go in and help them come to an agreement. The Rapid Support Forces offensive to capture the city of El Fasher included widespread atrocities that amount to war crimes and possible crimes against humanity. And that was, again, the UN Human Rights Office disclosed that in the report they did. Just another place where we got to keep our eye out and keep people informed of what's going on, and hopefully it'll change a little bit over in the future and we'll have some semblance of normality other than everybody trying to kill each other. The next one, this one was kind of different. NASA is still trying to send astronauts around the moon. And they had reports of the last rocket that came back, and there was a problem with the heat shields. And so they decided that they would delay the last launch, and this current one, they went through a pre-test. They called it a make or break test of their new moon rocket. And what they found was very disconcerting. They found more issues with the heat shields, and they postponed the launch until further notice. What people don't understand is these heat shields are immensely important on the return. You're talking about when they take off, there's more than 700,000 gallons of fuel. So the last thing you want on takeoff is to have issues with heat shields. We don't want to ever go through and repeat the problem with the Challenger ever again. So hopefully they'll be willing to take time and figure out what the best solution is to fix this before they send people up to go around the moon. And the last thing, this is once again, it goes to, I can't believe this really happened. And this one hits home because it's something that I take part in, and someday I might be in one of these places. So down in Florida, Florida, there was an argument during a pickleball game that sparked a brawl at a Florida country club, and it was a senior club. So there you go. You just can't imagine what it must have looked like with seniors having a brawl on a pickleball court. But it happened, and a couple of folks got arrested. So they went off to the Who's Gal because they had a disagreement on a pickleball court, and they felt that there needed to be a change in the world over a pickleball game, and there you go. There's our society.
There's one in every crowd, Frank. There's one in every crowd.
Yeah. Well, there was more than one in that crowd. There was elder folks rolling around all over the place.
It was their moment, Frank. It was their one moment.
Could you jump a pickleball net, do you think?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd land on my feet, but I could jump it.
Oh, Frank. Monica, what's the next big thing for you? Where are we going?
Yeah, so I have a vision. One Well, first of all, I would love to find more speaking events. So if anybody needs something similar in the health and fitness space that would be helpful for you and your organization, would love to come help you out with that. Beyond that, my vision as a health and performance coach, I would love to step more into the consulting role in the near future. I would love to help women-owned businesses with their employee health so that they can improve the health of their employees, and then they in turn scale their business and their impact on the people that they serve. So it's more of like dropping a pebble into a pond and watching the ripple effect happen. Because as we've seen, even outside of law enforcement and first responder spaces and military as well, employers don't often invest in the health of their employees beyond a standard package of retirement and health insurance. And we all know that health insurance is more reactive than it is proactive. So I would love to offer that for any employer to improve the health of their employees and maybe give them something they never would have had access to.
What can we do to help? I mean, at the end of this, if you have time, we always do a collaboration piece when we shut the cameras off, and so if you guys have time, if we run over time, let us know and we'll get it. But what is a piece that we could work in this space together? We're already going to start that conversation.
Yeah. Well, let me say to begin with, and we can. I feel like you're in the world of calling things out. My original vision was to do that for first responder agencies, but how many of them do you think actually want that? Not many. Not many want to invest in health and wellness of their own people outside of what is, I believe, becoming better and more prevalent in the mental health side of things. I think there are steps being taken forward on the mental health side of things. But when you start to bring up nutrition and fitness and keeping people healthy, and also when you want to get into the law enforcement side of recruitment and retention, since that's a nice hot button topic that we love to throw out all the time. Again, if you invest in your people will stay. Your people will recruit other people for you to come work for your department. You will never have a shortage ever again in your life, in my opinion. So I would love to help implement this on the first responder side as well. So if somebody out there wants this, I am your girl.
We want this. So here's the deal. And this is the frustrating conversation, because you're right. And it's kind of like in the world of teaching, not that I want to equate it with the world of teaching, but there's a shortage because no one's getting paid enough to do the job. No one's getting paid to get spit on. No one's getting paid on to this. These stupid turds that want to put a little sign on their door and say, I'm not rolling my window down because I'm not going to be. Shut up. If you're an idiot, you're an idiot. And I mean, yeah, you're right. I am the guy that calls people out. And that's the reason why I had to step away from that industry as a whole, to be honest with you, because I saw the writing on the wall. I don't want to deal with ding-dongs. And when you're not able to figure out what compliance is, following the rules, following the expectation, realize they apply to absolutely everybody, that's where so it is. You're right. You know what? And I'm watching one of the series that I was watching for a minute it was one of the 911 series, and it was and I can't remember his name. Anyway, he was taking care of all the nutrition things, the fire chief was, and he was doing all the pieces of wellness and all the things. And I get it's a TV show, but they were functioning together as a group and as a unit, and no one was getting burnt out. And when they said I was burning out, they'd have the conversation, and no one held it against them for feeling burnt out. Okay, here's the deal. It costs money, and it sucks that we're going to put money in the equation to saving lives, and the lives that we're trying to save are the ones that are doing the job so that they can go and save more lives. And that's the reality. And the old guard isn't out yet, and we don't have enough new breath and new freshness in the space that can carry the torch and say, hey, everyone needs to do their fitness. Sorry, folks. I can't tell you how many fire calls I've shown up to where the EMS provider is 3 times my size. I'm sorry, brother. You're not in shape and you shouldn't be doing this job. And I don't want to have to carry your tail out of this place. So you are hindering the mission, period. Sorry. You don't like the message? I don't know how to fix that. And I'm not going to tell anyone to go stop eating donuts. I'm not going to tell it because I'm not going to stop eating donuts. I'm not going to tell anyone to go get on the treadmill because that's not my job. But the reality is if you're not taking care of the vehicle will break down in the middle of a mission. There's never a good time when you break down. You're always on the way someplace, right? But we have to. It has to be forced, Monica. And again, I'm not calling you out. It just has to be done. And
Hey,
until
Monica, when did you
people are going to die.
When did you publish your book?
So the original book was Thriving Inside the Thin Blue Line. This came out about 2 years ago, and actually it's been discontinued because I revised it and expanded it, and that's what Stand Tall and Take No Shit is now. This was released in December.
Have you thought about submitting it for an award?
I have not. I wouldn't know where to go or what to do, to be honest.
Send me a message.
Coach her up. Get it done.
Send me a message.
Okay, I will do that.
I'll fill you in on a book award program that would be interested in seeing that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All of our numbers are on that text thread. We'll make sure everyone knows who the Final Fours are, and then we'll everyone's got everyone's contact information on this group. So
what I was gonna say though, Mark, the thing that I see too, especially in law enforcement, first responder worlds, it's very dog eat dog, where you do get a lot of people that will say, well, you should never be a fat cop, like shame on you if you're a fat cop. Yes and no.
Right.
The thing that we do is that we expect law enforcement to be fit, but we never train them how to be fit.
No, they tell you, just go do it. And what happened if you worked it into your workday? And what if you actually did meal planning as an organization? And all.
So my thought is that it should be from your application forward. It should be application forward. Your fitness test should be more applicable to the job that you do, which is another giant soapbox I could get on with law enforcement and military testing. It's not applicable to the jobs that we do. And then have it built into the academy. If they're fresh going into the academy, you can build in nutrition into the academy. You can build in all those self-care practices in the academy, and you can give people a workout program in the academy. You can teach them the basics on how to program for themselves. You can give them time on shift to work out as much as you can, as much as your agency will allow for calls and staffing and all the other stuff. You can give them, hey, we want you to go to this gym here in town. They offer X, Y, and Z. It's on us, on our agency. We pay for it. It's nothing like no out of pocket for you. Or having a person that's within your agency that's a point of contact where you can trust and go to and figure out, hey, I need help in any of these 4 buckets. And they can be like, yes, I'm your point of contact. I'm going to send you to these 3 places, or I'm going to give you a nutrition plan, or fill in the blank.
It's too easy. It really is too easy. And I will get on the soapbox and say, these fitness centers, programs, and all that should be offering free programs to veterans and first responders. So
yes,
that, at the end of the day, and at the other part, it could be part of the benefit package as well. There's a mountain of ways we can address this, push this, and make it happen. And you know what? It sucks. Some people aren't meant to work out, and I totally get that. But you can go and sit and walk on a treadmill for an hour, and you'll be fine. And again, I'm not being judgy. I just there's ways to do it. There's a way. We have to do it. We have to make it meaningful.
I'm butting in for a little bit. I sincerely agree. But I'll bring up the military side of things. And I love Hexeth, how he sent back the National Guard troops that walked off them buses looking big and round. But so with that, knowing that I have a full clinic attached to the Special Forces group that I'm working with. Not Big Army gets, but everything's provided, right? Hexeth, our new secretary, right? He's informing that we're going to go back to doing PT every day. So it's free, it's given, it's provided. However, there's a couple things that come into play whenever we're talking about people. One is ownership, because it's up to us to make that active discipline decision. It's not motivation. You have to have discipline. Like, I can't remember the dude's name right now because I'm live. Jocko, you got to have that. You got to have that self-discipline to get up regardless. That's why I'm up at 3 a.m. every day doing my music, is because that's my field time. That's my own time, right? But everything else is dedicated to specific reasons and responsibilities in my field. And so whenever we're talking about physical fitness and mental fitness, they go hand in hand, because you can't go barging in on somebody saying you need to get in shape. Well, if a person's feeling depressed or not heard, or is in this mode of despair, the last thing most people are going to want to do is sit there and go pick up a weight. So I think there's got to be a hand in hand motion of taking care of their physical and mental, because they go hand in hand. And so as much as we're provided it here in the military, again, you still see people that are outrageously big, and it's just coming down to their personal ownership of it,
100% agree.
A humble opinion. That's a humble opinion. I'm not hard on it, but
no, there's clearly something else going on in any given person's life that they need to find, and that needs to be. And so one of the things that's constantly asked of us are, what are you doing for education? Great point. And I wish we were the point of the spear that was like education first, because that's reality. That's where we need to get. We need to understand. We need to have the pieces in place. And if you're not feeling great in this place, this is because of this. If this isn't working in this place, it could be because of this. And it's not a one size fit all. It's not. Every one of us have different components of different, A, pleasure, B, mental health, C, fitness, D, and all these things. And again, just because you might be carrying a little weight around, I'm that guy. I'm going to be that guy. But I'm also the guy that carries the people out of the fire. I mean, my fire team wanted me in the fire because they knew that if things went south, I was the guy bringing them out. That's not everybody, and I get that. But we need to do better in the world of education. We need to, and the reality is we run into these pieces all the time. There's not a stat number that I can put to it. This is the conversation we've had regularly for 5 years now. But a lot of the things people are dealing with in the moment right now are things that have been unresolved from previous life experiences. It was before they were a firefighter. It was before they joined the military. It was before they became a police officer. All this stuff existed, and then you got this piece in your mind, which isn't bad, that said, hey, I'm going to go save the world. Well, you haven't saved yourself yet. This goes back to you have to be battle ready. You have to take care of you. And I'm sorry that there's poopy stuff in your life that, reality is someone has introduced into your life. Most of us don't go out there and say, hey, make me feel like crap. I don't know anyone that does that. But I mean, but you get to the point in your life where that chronic pain, that chronic trauma is I work with kids that they can't function unless they're living in chaos. Absolutely. Why are you burning it down? Just say you don't want to be here and go into the other room. It's that simple. But they don't know how to function through those tools. Same thing in our veteran world and service member world, because remember, those young men and women joined at 17, 18, 19, and they didn't really get the process to grow up in that piece and get that brain developed at age 25, because they and not a bad thing, but the systems don't train and teach you to grow up, teach you to the things that you need to I don't want to say adapt, but to function normally. I could get on these soapboxes all day long, and again, it's the information that we get from guests like you, the world we live in. Love all the content of the conversations that we're having. Monica, we want to support you. I think there's a niche here that we could really slam dunk some stuff. We're 100% about collaborating, working with people, and making things bigger, better, badder. I love it. I love it. Still hang in there. Men are taught to be, yeah. Well, and what does that mean? I mean, let's have that real conversation, because
say how so.
The way that I was taught by my father is, you chew down, you grit through it, and you get her done. Love my whole man to death. But at the same time, there's some places where I know that has damaged my relationships, my space. I could have been in a different place if I didn't grit through everything, if I had taken it as a lesson, learned and grown from it. Mr. Cook, you are like becoming like the regular here, brother. Good to see you, Mr. Cook.
So
go ahead.
I'm jump in, I guess. It's hard to get in the conversation.
That's what it's for.
So whenever I was filling out the stuff beforehand, I had mentioned the Men's Fight Club. Did you guys happen to look into that? And so when we're talking, like Micah's comment, I'm a part of a huge organization of men up in Kentucky. My mentor, Will Grosskopf, started a Men's Fight Club. We could talk about this fight club. But the whole goal is there's about, I'm not religious or anything like that, but we love Jesus. And I can say that confidently. We have about 60 churches, because they're on every street corner in America. But it's about bringing all the men in. And again, it comes down to education, Mark, what you're talking about. The whole goal of the Men's Fight Club is we bring all the men in together and remind each other how to be men. And I'll give you what that means. Tending your field, showing up, telling the people around you the most that you love them. Mark, when you said it earlier, this is your time to reach out to 6 people. I'm all the time preaching on this. And the whole fact is we're so comfortable in our society. There's no pushback hardly, and everything's instantly given to us. We don't have to wait for anything. I have to wait for Prime now, the shipments, because it takes forever to get to Okinawa, and my heart breaks. It reminds me on all my deployments, because the mail is like a snail here. But the whole thing is even in women, it's tending our field of taking up and just properly making sure that everything's there. Telling the people around you most that you love them. When's the last time you said thank you to the person serving you at the restaurant who's going through probably a second divorce, who's on the whim of losing everything, and the last thing she has ever heard is a thank you? And it comes down to those moments of tending your field, taking care of people, show up for your kids that you chose to have. And I don't want to get on that. You talk about soapboxing. The responsibilities that are within your field, if they're unattended, it makes sense whenever people's coming to me with problems. Well, when's the last time you looked outside yourself? When's the last time you picked up something and helped somebody up? Anyways, all that to say, yes, it's a very, very gray area of what that actually looks like when teaching people how to be men and how to be proper, abiding citizens who just follow the daggum laws and just show up to work on time.
I love it.
I don't want to go off on it because, man, I preach on it in my office all day long with people. And it's just personal responsibilities,
This right here, this is a dangerous crew of get some stuff done is what I think. That's what I think. I'm in a good space. All right. I think because the last song that we have is just an instrumental for you, Josh. Mm-hmm. So I think what we'll do, if you're okay with it, we will get into final thoughts and I'll take it and I'll leave it up for like 2 minutes on our outtake. And then I'll shut the show down and then we'll all come back and have our little collaboration conversation if you're available. I mean, again, okay. I know we're doing good. We're doing good, Andrea. She gets grumpy with me when I get it to 2 hours.
The official timekeeper. Chop, chop.
Yeah, I think
Are you
people
okay
enjoy it
with
at the end
that,
of it. What's that, Mark?
Are you okay with that plan right there?
Oh, I mean, yeah, if you want to ride out the show with that song, that'd be perfect. It
Yeah.
just came out Friday, so.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. So we're going to slip into our last segment that we call our final thoughts. During our shows, there tends to be a moment of growth. There tends to be the beacon is recognized and people see the light, at least in the 5 people on here. And again, folks, if you're listening, we've had so many amazing feedback from Mr. Cook, from Micah. All of you have been commenting great. Your final thoughts are important as well, and we'll put them up as well. So final thoughts. I usually let Frank start this just so everyone can kind of see the format and the function. Go ahead, Frank.
Okay, we talked a lot about making sure you take care of yourself first, and I'll go through a little thing that helped me quite a bit. And I was shocked that I learned this from a Navy SEAL, of all people. But it's probably one of the best things that I've ever learned, and I wish I would have learned it much earlier. And I don't know if many people know me well enough to know, but I am not a real touchy-feely type person. I'm pretty blunt and to the point, and rub some dirt on it and get on. But there was a few years ago that I was standing at the edge of eternity. And thank God I got pulled back away from falling into that trap. And one of the things that I learned, I took a thing called the Deliberate Discomfort Challenge. And it taught me a lot of things. And I did this when I think I was 64 years old when I took the challenge. And one of the things we had to do was meditation. And I started that out, and now I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Meditation? I said, I'll close my eyes and then open them up 5 minutes later and everything's going to be okay. But there's so much more to it. And they also taught us mindfulness training. And between the mindfulness training and the meditation, it really instilled in me that ability to focus and pursue my purpose. And that was probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And I just wish it would have happened earlier. And if you haven't tried it, give it a shot. At least give it a try. And you might find out that it's really helpful. And that's all I got today.
Miss Crawford.
Gosh, I'm going to go a completely different route from that. Rooms like this are just refreshing for me. I think it's cool to get in rooms with people who are like-minded and who are on the same page. So my message is get in the room. Get in the room with people who will help support you, who will help share your mission, who will help connect you to other people. And just step into those rooms even before you might even be ready for it. Because a lot, especially in our fields, we're used to competition, and competition tends to happen at the bottom. Collaboration happens at the top. So figure out how you can get in the right room to help yourself and help other people.
Miss Eichmann.
Yeah, that is a perfect way to put it, Monica. Thank you. Get in a room. Here we are every Sunday, and everybody's welcome all the time. So I really think we should keep that in mind as well. Purpose is essential. I just wore my workout shirt the other day. I think we got it at a conference. Peterson and I were at somewhere, I think Texas. Protect your purpose like you would protect your house. It's that dear. It's that important. You should protect your purpose as well. And then focusing on tonight's who helps the help. Honestly, we all need to help the help. And I think we should be looking out for that help. And then as we do, I say this almost every single week because we do move fast paced. A lot of us work all day and then we start working on something for ourselves or something for others the minute we're done with our other job. And so you can't be fully present if we can't have your full presence. So just remember, I think that, well, I don't know if I am own your own business kind of person in a big corporation kind of world. And it doesn't really matter. But one thing that I've always thought about is if I could be in charge of, or if I could be that contractor or that HR, I don't know what position that would take, but it starts from the top, it can trickle down. If you truly appreciate those who help you or those who work for you or those around you, you have to tell them, but you also have to show them. So I think like if I were the boss, we'd be like taking a walk outside every day, or we'd sit down and have coffee at break time all together in the same room, sharing thoughts and feelings. Man, you got to have movement, you got to have fresh air, but also there's such a big, huge piece. There's such a big, huge piece to knowing that, and I'm thinking in a teacher mind, in the teacher break room, right? You start talking, you're like, oh my gosh, I am not the only one with this problem or the only one experiencing this or the only one who noticed that this was going on wherever. And there is such I don't know, it's kind of a backup. It's kind of, I'm not even saying if it's something good or something bad, it doesn't matter. The fact that you are not the only one feeling it, I think gives you sustenance. It gives you proof. It gives you a feeling of refreshment. Like, okay, thank goodness we both see this as something good. Let's spread it. This isn't something that's so great. How can we get through it? We're obviously seeing the same things. Just sharing it makes it so much less work. So thanks for coming, you two. This has been really good.
Mr. Hudson.
Final thoughts. Listen, this is where I thrive. I tell people this all the time, and I'm sharing a lot of deep stuff from years of just experiences. But I tell people, I say I'm about to get awkward with you, okay? And so I'll say I'm about to get awkward. I'm one of the biggest dudes in the room. I'm one of the meanest looking guys, and I'm always the first one to hug you. Frank, I tell you what, my father-in-law was the stiffest of boards of persons that didn't like hugs. He's a Cuban, right? He's an old Cuban man. But little by little over the years, I've been with him for over 20 years. Now he comes to me for a hug. And it's just the simple fact of, I tell people this all the time. I would much rather tell you right now than to tell your casket in the morning if I miss this opportunity to tell you exactly what I feel. And as awkward as it's going to be, this is what I teach my kids. I teach everybody here. My final thoughts is you better get it out of your system before it's too late. If you're holding back things because you have a conditioned love in your heart for people around you, you will never, ever get it out. And then you'll live with bitterness and resentment the whole life that you missed that opportunity that you can't get back. It's the same way whenever I'm saying 10 in your field, I'm going to start preaching. I'm sorry. I have colonels and I have people come to my office, and the first thing on their list of things that they're proud about is a workaholic. All the time, they're missing their kids growing up. If you don't show up for your kids that you chose to have, they will not care one bit about that retirement of that stuff you did in the Army. The Army will forget about you. So the one piece of encouragement I give to people is don't think that your job is so important. Hear what Monica was talking about. Hear that what I'm preaching to you right now, whoever's listening, no one's going to take care of you except you. And if you don't take that moment to start self-correcting yourself and showing up for the people around you and saying, I'm sorry every once in a while, or forgiving people that might have hurt you that maybe didn't even mean to do it the way that you took it, you will never grow and you will never exit that realm of hate and pain because you haven't allowed it to. And so my finishing words is just show up for people, invest in people around you, tell people how you feel about them because you might miss that chance forever.
I love it. I love it, brother. I love it. And it's funny because I am the biggest guy in the room usually. And my middle name on this show is Pause. And where Pause came from was when we built the People's Patriot Project, we got to go around the country to visit other organizational like events and stuff, and we would live cast and broadcast theirs, and it became kind of a thing. I'm an artillery grunt, crabby,
God bless you.
coat. Yeah. And I'm not a hugger, believe it or not. But since we built the People's Patriot Project and got to go and travel, I've never been lonely in a room ever, because the veterans and the first responders that we come in contact with, and me getting the chance to put my paws on them. And it's like, it is the driving force of what we're doing. And I knock on wood every time I say this. And I can't even tell you the tens of thousands plus people we've connected with, been with, have started a journey with. And to this date, and it scares me to say this all the time, and it's bad juju in my brain, but I say it because the relationships we have built and created, we have not lost one person in our network since we started this. And I want to keep it going. My heart will be broken the day that goes south. But the reality is we are checking our 6. That's personal and reaching out to the people in our network. You guys are going to get on the list. We're going to get checked with. I mean, that's the way it works. I have people reach out to me on the daily that put me on their list. And it's like, Scotty Frazier, you're a dude. I'm wearing your shirt again tonight, brother. Different shirt. He gave me a bunch, guys. Sorry that hurts. Scotty Frazier down in Texas, musician, does his job. He's getting it done. I appreciate you. Thank you. And thank you for your reach outs. Stephen John, his reach outs. Adam Jones, your reach outs. I mean, just the list is, I can swipe and show you. And I don't do it for that. I'm not in this mission to get, hey, are you okay? I'm in this mission to make a difference. I'm in this mission because there's 86,000 organizations in this country that say they're helping veterans and first responders. And I say hogwash. You're not getting the job done. I'm not going to carry the yoke by myself. I'm going to part myself with people that are true and intend to do the job with us. And I think I got some new recruits on here, man. I think we got the right team in here tonight. And I know that we're going to make things happen. So this show tonight is about Monica Crawford and her mission, and about Josh Hudson and his amazing music. Our Sunday night show is always about someone that's getting it done, someone that we believe in. You know what? Sometimes when we have people on there, we don't know them. I didn't know Monica last week. I looked at her socials. I told her, you're aggressive and I like it. Let's go. And she checked me. She goes, oh yeah, tell me, what are you really doing? I'm like, okay, fine. An hour later, when I'm done writing what we're doing, we got it. We're going to do it. There's no BS in here. I can't say your word, Monica. Sorry. I don't have my beeper anymore. I'm going to get that fixed, though. Beep. Anyway.
There's another famous author by the name of Mark Manson who kind of followed the same format, if you know the book I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Bright orange with black text.
So Mondays, we come back here at 16:30 and we share the WP3 weekly debrief. We come here and we let it all out, what the People's Patriot Project's getting done. We have out there WP3 Radio that plays only veterans and first responder music. So go check those out. If you can, send out our YouTube link and make sure there's a lot of other people subscribing. If you believe in the message you heard tonight, like, share, and validate. Don't just give me 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes to validate what you heard on this show tonight, and what we're doing is making a difference and can make a difference. We have to build it. We have to grow it. The version of us tomorrow needs to be better than the version of us today. That's the reality. Mm-hmm. And if you're not doing any of it, You're part of the problem. I said that at the beginning.
That's it.
Josh, you got one more song. Is there a lead into it? I mean, I just have an instrumental on this one, so
it just came out Friday. Random idea. Again, I just got lyrics from Malachi this morning. I love them, and so we'll have that coming out in a few weeks probably. But again, this is just random ideas of my own personal projects. I have a couple of projects with clients around here, but take it for what it's worth, Monica. It's not. I mean, it's going to be fast paced. Hopefully you like this one a little bit better than the Go Time, and the introduction has a little bit more breathing room, if you will. But
I like it. I like what you've been. Not that my.
I think you're going to like this
much,
one,
but I do. Your type of rock, or at least this type, is more kind of my speed. So
yeah, I think you're going to like this one.
Zero judgments. We got people that love opera. We love people that love R&B. And it is what it is, man. This will feed somebody, and we appreciate it. We appreciate you, Josh. We appreciate you, Monica. This is Mr. Hudson, Josh Hudson, with the confines of reality. Patriot Pride. Next week on We Got Your Stitches Thick. Eating tacos. Jeremy Disson and Ryan Bremer. That filmmaker.